Hey guys, how's it going? Or should I say, Annyeonghaseyo Yarabun, Joanna Chim. That means hey guys or hi guys, good morning. Why? Because it's good morning and it is in the morning, and we're going to study some Korean today. Or maybe we'll learn Korean from zero, number one. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. My channel does not focus on Korean. We are, however, focusing on the K2 Black Panther Korean tank. And that's this guy right here. We are continuing the build. The end is in sight. We are close to being finished. But we're not quite there yet. We still got some stuff to do. So last time, I got the wheels on. I got the dirt all done. All the nice muddy effects. It's all right there. Show you my favorite one. Which one? My favorite what? My favorite tank? Show you my favorite tank. Well, I guess I'd have to say the M1 Abrams is probably my favorite, probably just because it's American and it's top tier. But I think probably since the K2 is ranked number 2 in the world, I would say this one's probably my favorite one. Number 1, of course, being the German Leopard tank. But I don't know, it's not really just the look of it and the design is not my favorite. I think this one looks pretty cool. So, what did we do? Last time, I decided to get this track put on, and I got the side skirt put on also. And so I need to do that on this side. Now, the track being a big pain in the ass and wanting to fall apart on me because just the brittleness of the plastic after putting all that pigment and binder on there, the track is, yeah, it's not the best. So it wants to break apart on me as I try and bend it, which is not very fun. So I am anticipating some of the pigment coming off of my hands, so I'm getting my gloves ready. And I've already kind of worked this one through all the links to get it to kind of be nice and round. And of course, in doing so, a little section came off. So that's that. So, but that's not the end of the world. Once I've got it together, I can glue it together. It's not really necessary to have it, the whole thing flexible. But yeah, that's that. So I found what I should, or maybe basically my order of operations in putting this together. Maybe I should not have put the top part on here. It would have been easier to put the track on if this was not already here. So yeah, because it makes it kind of tough to get it in through this little area here. So what I did on the other side is I just kind of wiggled the sprocket here to get it off, and then kind of run the track through on that part like this, run it through on there, and then put the sprocket back. And it was a pain in the neck, and I did wind up actually doing it. And of course, on the other side, I did break a couple of links in doing so. This does not want to cooperate very well. There we go. Okay, so we're going to attempt to put this on like so. We'll line it up. course, we got to get it through here, get it on there over that front wheel, and the front wheel is a pain, so we got to take the front wheel off too. I'm going to pull with too much pressure. So when I tried taking off the front wheel, it took the axle with it. This one seems to be coming later, so I'm just going to leave that off for now, just so I can get the track in here where it belongs. There we go. Sprocket on. Okay, get the cogs lined up. There. Okay. There we go. So we're connected there. We're in our right spot. Now we'll just get the front wheel back on. Of course, it goes back on much easier than it came off. Now we can wrap our tracks over it like so. And there we are. Kind of straighten them out a little bit. Okay, so we got to put these links together. Now, of course, what broke off is nice and fortunate because I've got more links than I actually need. And that's what I discovered on this side too. Even though the book, the instructions say, what was it, 78 links per side or something like that? Let me just go back here. What did it say for the track? 78 per side. Well, I counted out 78 per side, and well, we actually only needed 75. But that's alright. So this has to go back on here, so I want to remove these two pieces. And see how many links I actually need to add. So put that together, and then we can put these back on. Assuming I got it lined up, which I don't right now. There we go. I'm going to rotate this so I have a little bit easier time. There's one side. These links do have kind of a top and a bottom. They're straighter on one side than the other, if that makes sense. If you've ever seen them, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so we've got our track back together there. So I need to see how many links I'm actually going to be removing here. So I'm going to just do this. So I need it to line up there, which means I'm going to take this one off. It actually broke the pins. Rather than just sliding off, it broke off. So that sucks. And it did the seam there. So pull that apart. Now I've got nothing to connect it except the middle. And I have to use this piece. So what I'm going to actually try and do, I'm going to try and salvage this section here. Why are you just breaking? Stop breaking on me. There we go. I might be able to salvage this last tread. If I can get this off without it breaking. No, it broke. Fuck. So these are totally useless pieces of track. Because I got missing pegs all over the place. But the hardware I can still use. So this is junk. And this one's junk. I can still use that piece. And I can use these links. So these pieces of track are garbage. And I've got some here. This one's garbage. These ones that they've got the pegs in them, junk. Because they won't attach. So therein lies the riskiness of doing pigments and binders on here, is it kind of solidified everything. Fortunately, I do have some spare track here, and these are not busted on me. So, can I get these off without breaking them? This one I want to remove. This one is garbage. Now, can I remove these? It's pretty stiff. No, it fucking broke. What do I do? Pick the one part of the track that's just gonna break apart on me? I'm doomed to frickin' keep breaking my track apart here. The more I try and move it, the more it's breaking on me. It seems like I get one little spot and the other side just wants to break. So I'm just going to have to just glue this thing together. I'm going to be using lots of glue to get this to stay. Put that back in there. Okay, I need a link that at least has some pins on it. Okay. That's garbage. I'm running out of end links. important to get it the right way around. So next time, if I do another tank, I'm definitely not going to use pigments on the plastic tracks. If it's got plastic tracks like this, I'm not using pigments. Or if I do use pigments, I'm going to do it all while it's disassembled. And then assemble it after. I would much rather just put my gloves on and assemble it all afterwards. Now I can't really tell if so there's our assembled track. Missing some links because it's stupid, but it's there. Okay, so once I get this lined up, if this stays straight, especially on the spots that have no links. Like along here. At this point, I'm not even concerned about whether they're touching the wheels or if it's perfectly flat and straight. I just, at this point, I want it to stay together. Is my biggest concern. Just stop breaking apart on me. And I'll be happy. Okay, I think got it in a position where it's going to stay. I might even be able to put a link on there to get those together. It's a big lesson to learn as far as how fragile these become. This is technically my third tank build. And my first build with plastic tracks, because the Abrams and the Israeli tank both had rubber tracks, and I definitely did not have this issue with those. So now I kind of want to put it on a straight edge, and I'm going to apply some more glue because this is not being very nice. So I want it as straight as possible. And I'm going to glue the track to the wheels, because I don't want it falling apart anymore. Just taking advantage of the capillary action of the glue. And I'm going to just glue it all together as one solid piece. And hopefully it don't fall apart on me no more. Okay, and there's that. So the track is on, and hopefully on permanently. But you know, we'll see. So now we got the side piece, or side skirt, whatever you want to call it, and that's going to go on there like that. So, get my other glue. These points, and these points, and then all right, line it up at the back here. Just like that. And that side is on. Just like so. Now the one thing I haven't done on the sides is I haven't done the wash for the dust. And that's a simple enough process to do. There we go. Just like so. I can probably take my gloves off safely, since I'm not really handling the track anymore. Now, technically, it should be permanent. My whole mud effects and everything should be a permanent thing right now. But I did notice that if you rub it hard enough, it does come off a little bit. Let's see, it didn't really come off too much really on my gloves, but I didn't want to get a bunch of the mud all over my fingers again, because, well, I'm trying to keep it clean now. So these tracks are garbage. Actually, all the tracks left are garbage. It kind of sucks. I do have a couple left over that could be used. These ones are junk. I'm tempted to just I want to keep them just in case. more break or something. Yeah. Let's see. So let's do the wash, shall we? Because I've done the wash all over the top. I haven't done it on the sides, and you need to do the whole thing, right? So that's an important step. So, brush, and I'm just going to go smear, smear, which was a bit of a mistake. I shouldn't have gone so crazy on it. I don't want to get it in the cracks too much. Kind of want to do a little bit here, here. It's part of the sides, right? So it's part of it. There we go. Okay. So that's one side. That's nice and awful looking. But we are going to clean it up soon enough. And see, I did do on this side already, on the top, along this edge. I've forgotten to do the other side. Alright, so that's that. Clean up my brush. It's my thinner. Okay, now I did want to redo my panel lines here on the front for this armor part because I got some dust wash in them and that doesn't look quite right. So I want to redo the dark brown and just redo them. And that ought to do it, just like that. Just clean it up, doesn't take anything special. Go. Okay, so still a little bit wet. That's okay if it's still a little bit wet because I'm really just going to be taking most of it off. Now I'm going to be going in this kind of an up and down pattern to try and simulate some gravity to it. And then it kind of looks like crap. It doesn't look natural right now, but we'll get to that soon enough. We'll get it looking natural soon enough. Okay. Oh, disaster. Okay, so to make it look a little more natural, especially on this side, we're going to take the thinner, we're going to wet our brush just a little bit. Okay. Then dampen it. Really all we're doing is just kind of reactivating it a little bit in some spots so we can kind of fade and feather it a little bit. And I want to do like dust streaks, like gravity's pulled the dust down, even though I'm doing it in upward motion, it doesn't matter. Kind of gives it that sort of like rain streaks. Look, it's a little more difficult along here in this spot, along this upper edge. But that's okay with that. I can just kind of wipe across. It's not really going to be a huge effect up in here. And I can get away with not doing it like this in a vertical pattern. Although it helps. I'll say that, it helps doing it. It's just you don't have a lot of room to work, you know, big thumb little model. But there we go, okay. So now we'll move on to this one. Create some streaks. Now if the brush gets a little too dry and it's not reactivating it enough, we'll just dip the brush in the thinner again and start again. That's the whole point, right? So we're streaking and feathering, and that's all we're doing, really. Okay, so there we go. There's one side. That's done. That's nicely feathered and whatever. The camera doesn't really do justice to it compared to the way it looks in real life, unfortunately. That's why the still pictures are kind of a bonus. When it's all done, the still pictures really help out in seeing the actual effect and what it looks like in real life. There we go. Sides are done. And I think that's looking pretty good. I wish you could really appreciate it on the camera, but it just doesn't show. And just do a final clean on my brush. And we're almost done. Almost finished. I hit it with a clear coat to seal everything in. Now I'm not going to bother masking off these little front windows here that are in the front, these guys. I'm not going to bother masking those. It's such a small detail. I'll just try and make sure when I go to spray the front that I'm not directing it directly at the glass. That's really the only thing I'm going to try and be careful of. And even if I do, if when I've sprayed it and it's just too matte colored on the glass, I can always just take rubbing alcohol on a cotton swab and just kind of rub it a little bit, and it'll get rid of that Tamiya clear. No problem. Okay, so let's put this clear coat on this. Should be a celebration today. I checked my YouTube today and I'm up to 200 followers. It's like a milestone for me. It's so awesome. first things first is I'm going to hit the bottom and the track with flat clear. Now, I would like to add more mud effect to the track, because right now it just looks really kind of rusty. I would like to make it a little more muddy to match the wheels, but seeing how delicate this track has become, I don't want to do too much. Maybe I should try it anyway. Should I try it anyway? I'm going to try it anyway. So let's hold off on the clear for now. Let's grab my little palette. Blank. And we're going to take some brown earth. I'm going to use the non-textured one. And I need a brush. Let's grab this brush. It's a nice old crappy brush. I don't want to do a lot. I just want to do, so I'm using the non-textured because I don't want to make a mud pile. I just want it like it's been through really liquidy mud and it's kind of accumulated on there, or it's still there. So that's all I'm going to do. So let's do that. I don't think I need too much for what I'm doing, or for what I'm about to do. And I'll use my alkite binder. I don't remember which one. I've got two here. And we're going to make a little bit of a paste. So now I've got my paint, for lack of a better term. It is technically a paint. And I just want to do, well, I don't want to go crazy with it now. Just maybe in the middle track here, do a little more of a precision on it. Like that, especially on the inside. Where the wheels will not be rubbing on it. And I'm not even sure I'm going to do the whole track. Just, I want to concentrate on what's going to be seen. And I think that's good enough. Yeah, I think that's good. So just kind of focusing on this, on the edges, and in the middle, and in between the pads. Get rid of the hair. Pads would be coming in contact with the road a lot, and so they're not going to have a whole bunch of mud on them. They kind of would, and they kind of won't. So So I'm just going to do kind of a streak, kind of just rubbing it down with my finger to give it a bit of a dirty streak on there. Just to kind of remove some of that shine. And of course my technique is nowhere near the perfect technique that other guys use, but it's not about doing it perfect, is it? And once again, just kind of going to run down the side here where there would be mud, but not rubbed away by the wheels themselves. Again, trying to be careful not to destroy my friggin' track. And now the back. And I think I have a result that looks fairly realistic. A little bit better. Now there's not so much metal sheen coming through. And yeah, I feel better about that. Yeah. Definitely looks a little more realistic. Definitely looks a little more realistic. Okay. So that's done. I need to clean my finger and I'm cleaning my brush. Now last time I didn't even bother trying to clean off my brush, I just threw the brush away. But as it turns out, or so I've been told, lacquer thinner, you can, it's in their videos on VMS's website, they say you can clean your brush with the universal weathering carrier. I'm going to give that a try. Of course, that just tells me all it is thinner of some sort. So if that's the case, like, then my brush is still pretty brown. So I don't want to be, this stuff is kind of expensive for what it is, so I don't want to use a whole lot. So I'm going to use my big honking can of lacquer thinner. Ooh, that smells yummy. See, right there, boom, much better. Lacquer thinner basically cleans anything. So is a solvent for any kind of paint, really. So there. All right. So I'm just going to take this and do that, so I don't have splashing anywhere. Put that away. So put that away. Okay. Put this back up here. Now, choices. I could let this dry before hitting it with the clear coat, or I can just hit it with the clear coat now. I think hitting it with the clear coat now is not going to do any harm to it. So let's do that. It's really, what am I doing? I'm just adding another layer for it to dry. So let's do the bottom first. Okay, now I'll let that dry. While I'm letting that dry, let's work on the turret. We still have a few little giblets to put on the turret here. We have the gun. We've got the gun all nicely painted and done. A little machine gun that goes on there. And it goes like this. I'm just wondering now, if I put the gun there, can I still open the hatch? No, the hatch won't open because the gun is glued. So, maybe this wasn't supposed to be glued. No, it had to be glued because of this. I have no one. The only way would if I turn this like that or something, and it just doesn't look right. Yeah, it doesn't look right if it's sitting in a weird angle like that, right? It should be facing forward. So what I'm going to do is open this up all the way, or at least to there, and then I'll glue the gun like that. And this hatch will just be open, which there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with it being open. It's just nice to have that functionality, you know, or as they say in the Gundam world, the gimmick. Okay. So there we go. The gun is on. We have our little flags. Put the little flags together. These are just basically decals put on the 3 little sticks, and I folded them to look like the flags are just you know, they're draped down rather than, you know, some kind of blowing in the wind effect, right? And these go right here, like so. Although I got to take a look at a picture because I might have this backwards. I got to take a look at a picture real quick here. Let's see. Where's that picture with flags? No, I got it the right way. Okay, so it goes like that. So let's put some glue on it. In case you're wondering, I have already painted a clear coat on this. So this is actually, paint's all sealed in nice and good. So you don't have to worry about that. Just want to make sure it's straight. That should be okay. Alright. Just like that. And what else have I got? I got the 2 mirrors that go on there. I've already put my jerry cans on there. So I got 2 mirrors that go onto the base. And now that'll go on last. So now this can sit and dry. Clear coat should be dry to the touch. Yep. So go to the top side. I'm going to hit the front on its own here. And also the back. should be good enough for that coat. And then we're going to be done. Well, not quite, not quite. We've still got the mirrors to put on. But other than the mirrors, we'll be done. Okay. Yes. So I don't want to touch it because I just put that coat on, but I'm going to put the mirrors on. Now it's definite lefts and rights. And the way they have these on here is actually kind of strange. The way the mirrors are positioned, the mirrors face each other rather than facing back. It's really kind of weird what they've done with this. And I thought it was so strange when I was assembling these little things, but that's the way they've done it, and that's the way it is. I actually need to touch up my paint job on around the mirror. So I'm just going to do that. I'm going to need a smaller brush. And actually, because of how small they are, I'll do that. Okay, that one's done. One thing I had noticed in the pictures on these things, in spite of whether the mirror is in the green camouflage or if it's in the tan color camouflage, the mirrors themselves are the same colors. They are the green. The actual mirror assembly is green, regardless of what part of the camouflage it's in, which I find it's interesting and it's not. I mean, who cares whether it's green or tan? But that just tells you that the manufacturer of the part, the actual mirror, in green, regardless of what the color scheme is, right? Okay, it's done. That's done. Don't want to touch it too much. Okay, this one's going to go on there like that. Okay. Actually, I'm going to use this glue instead. Let's see how tight of a fit it is by itself. got it the wrong way. Okay. I realized I made an error in this. I painted this one, the arms. The arms are supposed to be the same color as camel, but I painted the arm that goes on this side green, tan, and I painted the arm that goes on this side green. And I have them backwards. But that's not the end of the world. I can paint them by hand to get them the right color. It's so messed up the way they have these mirrors. Okay. It's kind of like they have the mirrors tucked away so they're not being used as they're facing each other. It's kind of strange. Okay, so I need to paint these arms the correct colors now. Let's get my little brush again. And I'm going to need my 2 colors of the tank. And yeah, oops. Making sure to get every angle. At the same time, don't want to just slather it in color. Okay, so I've got the tan one done. I'm not really going to clean my brush, I'm just going to kind of wipe it off. And we'll do the green one now. Am I putting my head in the way again? I feel like I'm always putting my head in the way. Okay, I think we're there. Alright, done. Now they're painted the proper colors for the side that they're on. And that will be done. In spite of the tracks giving me a problem, that's really the only problem I've had with this model. And it's really kind of self-inflicted. Not realizing that it would damage the tracks. It's not really damage, it's almost like the pigment binder bound to the track pins, making them unable to move. And of course, just having it sit in the box, they were dead flat, and as soon as you try and bend it, they were breaking. And that was really the problem. But now we can put the turret on, get it lined up, if I can get it lined up. Come on. What's the matter here? There we go. Okay. And we have a completed tank. K2 Black Panther finished. Just like that. All done. I like the way it looks. It is a cool looking tank. Yeah. South Korea, you did a fantastic job. Kamsahamnida. So that is it. And it's unfortunate that that gets in the way of the gun, but there's not really anything I can do about it. It's just the way it is. So that hatch stays open. Now, of course, this other hatch does open. Of course, with the turret mounted, it's a little tricky to try and get it there, but we can do that. And that can be open too. Just like that. So, yeah, that is done. We have a completed tank, guys. Finished. Now, I have seen pictures where this antenna is like frickin' this tall on this thing, right? And guys do that by taking a piece of like the sprue and getting a lighter, heating it up, melting it, and then going and stretching it out into a long, super thin piece, and then they just glue that on there at whatever length they feel like. You know what? I have spare tracks on here. I could have used those. I just have to repaint them. Damn it. And I even got tons of spare end pieces. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to keep these for the future in case I get another tank that has the same plastic tracks. I can reuse these. But in any case, once again, that's it, guys. This is now finished, and I am quite happy with it. It looks pretty good. Just another shot of the back there with the tail lights all in there, painted and done. There's the tracks. So, like I always say, I will take some still pictures of this guy and I will upload it to my Instagram. And you can always watch me live and talk to me on my Twitch channel. And you can watch my videos on my YouTube channel. So, yeah, all that good stuff. So I'm going to call it a day. This is going to be done. And we're going to move on to our next build, in a couple of days, and that's going to be a Gundam. And yeah, so I'm going to leave it at that. Take some pictures and be done. I want to thank you guys for watching. Thanks for getting me up to 200 subscribers. That is freaking awesome, guys. Thank you so much. But like I said, I'm going to leave it at that. We're done for today. And I like this tank. It is pretty cool. Yeah. So, once again, thanks, guys. And yeah, thanks for all your help. You guys inspire me to do more. And thanks for the suggestions. Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's all I got to say today. All right, guys. Thanks again, and we will see you all in the next one.